So I quit smoking on accident. So what happened well, I haven't had a cigarette in, this is my third day. 3 days ago, for 2 days prior, I only had about 6 smokes. Just out of sheer dumb luck. Only had about 6 smokes for like 2 days before I officially quit. So I woke up 3 days ago and I go into the living room and ask, hey, does anyone have a cigarette? And everyone basically said no. I was like, oh, okay. So I didn't feel like going to the store to buy tobacco. So I come back in my bedroom and do like my work stuff on my computer that I do. And about 4 hours later, I go into the living room again and see if anyone has any tobacco. And everyone says no. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, it's been 6 hours without a cigarette. I'm not really craving one too bad, so I figure like, fuck it, I'm just done, right? So now it's been 3 days, and I don't really crave one that bad, at least not bad enough to have one. And I've been praying and asking and praying, like, God, like, can I please kick this dirty little habit? I want to use this money for like something better, maybe like to put it into my business. I have a kid and stuff, I want to use this money to build my business, not to fucking, not to just smoke it up, Anyways, yeah, so that's how I did it. It was completely by accident. And, yeah, so how I quit smoking the couple times before was basically how I quit smoking the couple times before was basically I would, taper myself down. Basically, I would set like a timer on my phone, smoke like a cigarette like maybe every hour on the first day, every 2 hours on the second day, every 3 hours on the third day, every 4 hours on the fourth day. And then on the last day, I have like one final cigarette like in the middle of the day. And that's how I did it the first couple times. And then like every time you stop and then start back up, it gets harder and harder to quit. So basically, anyways, that's how it's done. You gotta taper yourself down. But in this case, it was just completely by accident. I didn't have a good enough reason to really try to quit. I just wound up quitting, and that's what happened. That's how I quit smoking. So anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Just wanted to make that announcement that I'm not going to have the constraint of basically having to afford tobacco in my life. Like having to purchase tobacco, like having a tobacco addiction is not going to be getting in the way of like my critical like shit that I've got going on in my life. And yeah, so it's only like like a couple $100 a month, but still is like fucking is like treacherous when you're trying to build a business and you have this tobacco addiction that's like eating up half your money. And it's like, fuck that. You got to just learn to put the pack down and quit, man. There's not some big secret to it. Just it's not as hard as you want to make it seem. Just put the pack down and quit. Be disciplined. Always be disciplined. And more so, you got to be kind of willing to do like whatever it takes to quit. You know, you got to have a good enough reason, because that pleasure of smoking a fucking cigarette is always going to linger in the back of my mind. Like, man, I wish I could just have a fucking cigarette, but you know, you can't do it. So anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. You know, happy quitting. And yeah, the method for quitting smoking is basically to taper yourself down. And if only every smoker knew that, I think there would be a lot less smokers. Trying to go cold turkey, you know, you're just going to disappoint yourself when you find that you don't have the strength to just put the pack down and quit. You know, you really do kind of have to taper yourself down, and follow the method that I told you guys about today. You know, on day 1, smoke 1 cigarette every hour. On day 2, smoke 1 cigarette every 2 hours. Then third day, every 3 hours, and kind of go like that all the way until your final day. You just have like 1 cigarette, and then you should be fine to quit after that. Like, I've been praying that I quit smoking for like months, many months, and perhaps like a couple years now. Just been like praying to fucking God that I can have the strength to quit, you know. And sometimes we pray, and sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes we pray, and in this case, the answer is yes. I finally was able to quit smoking. Despite all my financial challenges in these past 10 years, I've managed to build a multi-million-dollar company, quit smoking, kind of like kick the sugar habit that I had. I used to drink a 2-liter of soda every single day. You know, now I spend my money on like shit like this, like protein powder, like Muscle Milk, pre-workout. Like, you know, I've got testosterone for bodybuilding. I've got like multiple different types of protein powder. I've even got a big jug of protein powder that costs like $60. You know, is like getting back to my roots in being the person that I want to be in life. Means that I'm basically a non-smoker. You know, when I envision like my life, I never like picture myself like at being a smoker and being my best self. You know what I'm saying? I never like picture myself being like, as I'm, you know, in my future, like living my dreams. You know, I never like picture myself being like a smoker. You know, I never like wish to be a smoker. You know, like pleasure is something that we wait to go to heaven for. And, you know, praise Allah, you know, that I was finally able to make it happen, and it happened completely by accident, which shows me truthfully, like the miracle of God was with me this time around. And I think I'm finally done for good. Like, I realized this time around that you want to, like, you think like, oh, you know, if I'll just start up one more time and, you know, I'll quit, you know, a couple of years from now whenever I'm, you know, it's not going to be that fucking hard to quit. But sometimes, like, for me this time, quitting was like really fucking hard. You know, it was like really hard to quit. And but I haven't had a cigarette in 3 days about it. So please show your support by leaving a thumbs up on this video and subscribe to the channel. I talk about business, life, you know, bodybuilding, gaming, like work-life balance. I talk about general wisdom for life and success, mostly success-oriented stuff. I talk about like bodybuilding and balance, and, you know, I talk about, I mention God in almost like every single video right now, as maybe I gotta learn not to do that. I mention, like, you know, I talk about myself a lot and things that have actually my firsthand experiences in achieving crazy amounts of shit in my life. And pretty much, if you're going to follow anybody on your path to success, you should follow me, because I'm the one that's not going to fill your head with lies. I might not tell the whole truth in every single video, but I'm not going to fill your head with fucking lies. I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel about success and exactly the truth as it's been revealed to me. Like, some people are complacent with being fucking losers. If you're ready to break out of the complacency and to become a fucking winner, follow me on YouTube. I make videos for YouTube. I don't edit them. I don't put too much production value into my YouTube videos. Maybe in the future I'll do like a vlog of basically showcasing my life's experience and my is like there's a few people out there that can't stand the idea that I'm successful. Like literally maybe like less than 5 people that I've actually like pissed off at some point in my life. And at the end of the day, I only really have to answer to a few people that I really ever pissed off in my life. So, yeah, I mean, if I ever pissed you off, I'm sorry. I want to live my life. I want to live my destiny. I want to live my fucking dreams. There's only like 5 people. So, but the amount of people that I've helped far outweighs the amount of people that I've hurt. So, one tip to end the video on is Turkesterone, guys. Turkesterone is like legal anabolics for bodybuilding. It's like I get the same results from a capsule of Turkesterone every day as I did from injecting actual testosterone. And it's some pretty good shit, and I definitely recommend it. But it doesn't come with the side effects. And that's what's so good about it, is it's like maybe not quite as effective as actual anabolics, but is kind of like it gives me the same results as fucking steroids. So that's my life status, is I quit smoking, and I'm goddamn happy about it. So now I can actually invest my money into things that basically matter. So anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.